So Ole Miss is 6-3 against the spread against Alabama since 2015. Kiffin is 2-1 against the spread against Alabama. The one he didn't cover was in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss has been a good road dog as well. 4-2-1 against the spread. So for Ole Miss, the surprising thing for them this year is Quinshon Judkins has basically been non-existent. Jackson Dart actually leads the team in rushing. So I don't know if that's a thing or they haven't really played anybody yet, so they're maybe holding that part of their offense back. I think most people know that Judkins is the straw that stirs the drink, if you will.
Hell yeah, brother. That red Solo cup.
There's the Pete Golding factor. Pete Golding coming back in. Is Ole Miss defense improved? I don't know that we know that yet. Because of the teams they've played. I mean, Tulane's not bad. But,
they had a backup quarterback in.
Yeah, and they still almost won the game. So,
Tyler, real quick, you also have to take into account the fact that Pete Golding is coming back to Tuscaloosa, but he's not driving, which I know in the past has been an issue with him, right? So
it's a safer environment for everybody.
Yeah, it's a safer environment for everybody. It's terrible.
What was with Kiffin saying when you watch his film, it doesn't seem like Kevin Steele is calling the defense? That's kind of a weird thing to say, right?
You know what's even weirder is the fact that Saban responded to it, and the fact that I feel like he's already in his dome of like. And if you don't know what Tyler's talking about, basically Kiffin came out and he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty clear to us that Travaris Robinson is the one calling the defensive plays, and not Kevin Steele." And then he handled it like. Listen, in the past, we've seen Lane Kiffin troll Nick Saban, right? We've seen that happen. Usually when he does it, it's like after they've played. Beforehand, it's just nothing but zero rat poison. Let's talk about like they're great. They're fantastic. They've been really, really good, like doing this, blah, blah. And like right off the bat, he's like, well, I think it'll help that Bryce Young's not there. Travaris Robinson, he's the one calling plays. And it's like, dude, he like.
I don't think he smells blood in the water.
Yeah, I think he does. I think everyone does.
So Milroe's back in the saddle for Alabama at QB. I think if you're a Bama fan now, you understand why he's the quarterback. There might have been some calls for Buckner and Simpson and the like. Now you know why Milroe was in there.
Yeah.
To me, obviously the offense hasn't been great. They're going to have to run Milroe a ton in this game. And mix in that with the deep ball because he actually is good at throwing the deep ball. It's the short to intermediate passes that can lead him astray.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what Tommy Rees is willing to do differently offensively in this game. It's obvious to me. I'm kind of with you. Like if Bama loses this game, you're gonna hear the concept of the dynasty being dead is. Gonna be the loudest it's ever been.
All right, let's get into the picks, man. Jim made me feel a lot better about it. I don't want to see a 56-yard field goal.
Well, at least in his scenario, it would be tied. So if he misses it, at least it goes to OT.
Do you realize that Alabama has tried to kick a 56-plus yard field goal when they were tied before?
Have some more athletic people on the field for that one, then.
Yeah,
so my pick, I'm not going to let Jim sway my pick. I've already got it. You can look in the doc.
Yeah.
Very similar to his pick. I think the bet is so obvious on Ole Miss that I think Alabama wins this game. But I will take Ole Miss to win. I'm sorry, to cover. I think we punt the narrative of the dead dynasty for at least another week. I hate Bama's offense. But I'm going to take Ole Miss to cover, and I'm going to go Bama 30, Ole Miss 27.
My nipples are harder than a fucking 9th grade algebra test right now. That makes me feel better. Now, listen, I've said this in the past, and I'll say it again. With the Texas thing, I told you all summer long what was going to happen, and I was right on with it, okay? I prided myself, and I always pride myself on trying to be as objective as possible and as rational as possible. And believe it or not, throughout the years I was on the STS pod, no matter what Connor told you guys, I was not ever making emotional hedges. I told you exactly what I thought was going to happen all the time. I'm fucking leaning in hard to the emotional hedge this week. And it's partially because I believe it. I'm very nervous about this game. I don't like how Bama fans, including myself, have been read way too much into body language and smiles and emotions from a press conference all offseason, and Lane has done nothing but stoke the fires of that all week. Here's the thing that stands out to me, and I understand Tyler Booker's back, and Jim said it, and I hated hearing it, to be honest. The one thing I didn't like that he said was they're going to play angry. I've heard it all year. I've heard it all offseason and all year, and the chip on their shoulder and joyless fireball, and they haven't done it. They just haven't done it. And Ole Miss, I understand they had not played a lot of great teams early, but here's the thing that I think Bama fans don't understand. One thing that people have looked at in this game is, well, they gave up 307 yards passing to Haynes King. They gave up this many yards to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's not a bad football team. They're not a bad offensive football team. Haynes King has 9 touchdowns and 1 interception on the year and is averaging over 311 yards per game. Like Haynes King or 330 yards per game. He's been a good quarterback where he's at.
Yeah.
Can Jalen Milroe do that? I don't know. We haven't seen it. Can he do that and then also not throw an interception? We definitely haven't seen that besides MTSU, and this is an MTSU. The thing that scares me the most is that Alabama is ranked, they think they're 13th or 12th in the conference. I said this last week in penalties. Here are the numbers under Tommy Rees. Okay, are you ready for this? Because this is going to be wild for you to hear. Under Tommy Rees, the offense, scoring, this is in the SEC, 9th, passing, 13th, total yards, 13th, first downs, 12th, sacks allowed, 13th. The offensive line has been bad. Ole Miss ranks top 4 in the SEC in both sacks and tackles for loss. I think that you have to get Jalen Milroe on the first fucking drive involved in the run game and give him some design runs. You have to put them on skates and make them backpedal early. And I am so fucking fired up now that we're talking about it. But that being said, the wrong team is favored because Alabama's done nothing to prove why they should be a 7-point favorite over this Ole Miss team going into this game. Ole Miss 31, Alabama 23.
That you will hear the dynasty is dead after that. If that happens.
I'll tell you myself, it already is.